So today we have with us one of the most eminent personalities when it comes to civil services preparations in India, Mrs. Shubhra Ranjan ma'am. Welcome to Jagran English.
Namaskar, namaskar. Yeah.
Ma'am, as we know about the tragic incident that happened in the Old Rajinder Nagar area and where three aspirants lost their lives. So first of all, one very clear-cut question, your message, your direct message to the protesting students.
My direct message is, as I have told them, I am really proud of you because in our generation, I think we were not as brave as you all. And whatever teachers have taught you, I think you have imbibed it because you have learned to fight against injustice, stand with the values, with your beliefs, and God bless you. And I believe that your struggle is taking fruit, it is bringing fruit, and all the best.
Okay, so ma'am, as we saw a few videos where you were present at the protest site and you were directly talking to the students over there. So you must have talked to multiple people who are protesting over there. What are their major demands right now, and till how long will this protest go on?
First of all, their major demand is about the very basic necessities. The first and foremost thing is, of course, security. This is not just a student's demand. This is also teachers' demand, residents' demand, anybody who is working here. So, very basic thing. One thing is very good that students have taken up their issues which are related to them very specifically, as well as they have also taken up the wider issues, the systemic issues like cleaning in time, the basic civic amenities, and it has been an eye opener event, we can say. And we have to learn a lot and we have to ensure that this thing doesn't happen. And what I see that since their effort, their struggle, and they have shown exemplary courage and solidarity, that government is at least taking now the note of it. Government has taken action, the coaching industry has taken action, MCD has taken action, political personalities have taken action. So I believe, and things are moving in the right direction. So maybe the protest may end up soon, and we wish, because even students, they have to go back to their studies as soon as possible, and we want that things get resolved amicably to the satisfaction at earliest.
So, ma'am, shifting our focus towards the core issues which actually led to this incident of flooding in the basement. So, you have your own institute in the same area, and you must be aware about these possibilities that have actually led to this incident. So, my question is, were there any warning signs beforehand, before the happening of this incident?
Nothing as such. See, we see this type of things anywhere, everywhere in India. You can talk about airport, you can talk about Pune, you can talk about any place. Now these floods, flash floods, water logging, it has become such a part of our life. We feel it is normal. Means
Right.
we have reached to that level that we think it is a part of life in India. Aisa hota hai. And that consciousness that things can go wrong to that extent, maybe that consciousness somewhere gets diluted because we have accepted it as a part of life. And this incident reminds me that no, nothing can be accepted as a part of life. And these students, they have shown that they have been actually, as I said, an eye opener, that as a citizens we have certain rights and we have to demand for those rights. Plus, as a citizen we also have a responsibility. As a citizens we have been vigilant enough, then maybe things would have been avoided. Plus, as the government also, so it has to be a two-way process. It is everybody's responsibility. Everybody is a part of this particular tragedy, everybody is affected also. Fine. And somebody, we always feel that not me, someone else will go, not me, someone else. So it can be anyone. And yes, because this let us not take these things normalization. Anywhere we see governance deficit is there, we have to raise a voice.
Ma'am, talking about the infrastructure over there, and the videos have surfaced how the aspirants actually live in that area, and the conditions are not very good for an aspirant to study or to even focus on things. So, right from the places that they live in to the libraries, they have to go to the basements, and legally speaking, the libraries and the PGs that are running in the basement are not allowed and should not be allowed. So what are your views on that, and how the living conditions are actually, and how it hampers the mental condition of the aspirant?
I think living conditions are very bad, and it is just a part of the wider reality of India. It is not just students' living condition. I believe large number of people across the sectors, they are living in that condition, and which is very, very sad. And it is high time that the government and all stakeholders take the cognizance of it and get the things right. As far as this particular industry is concerned, I will suggest that there is a time that we have to decongest this particular area. It has to be shifted out to a places which is having much better facilities for accommodation. I often see whether in Noida or in Gurgaon, there are a lot of buildings which are available, but they are not occupied. The thing is, everything develops, a market develops around some industry, and then there is a reluctance to move. But we have to take this particular decisions, and the existing infrastructure here cannot support the type of the demand which is there. Plus, there are places where space is there, facilities are there, they are not being occupied. So the wise decision has to be to move from this place. When it will happen, when it can happen, that is to be seen.
Ma'am, while I was there on the protest side and I covered the issues, and while talking to the students, and the major frustration and anger was directed towards the teachers. And each and every student over there was asking, where are our teachers and why are they not here supporting us? Although it took some time for the teachers to come out in public and to issue some statements or to stand in solidarity. But why were the teachers missing for a few days, and why did nobody come forward?
So again, first of all, why students were expecting, because they are interacting with us on day-to-day basis. And student teacher relationship is of course very different. After their parents, they look towards their teachers, so it was very, very natural for them to expect. Now things happen so suddenly, and it was very shocking. Means I am sure that there may not be a single teacher who may not have been emotionally with, not been with the students. That I don't think it is possible. But different people may be stuck up somewhere, they may have different uh, problems, issues, concerns. We do not know what has happened. I can know like what is the reason why I could not be on the very first day. So maybe everybody, some different people have a different mindsets. Their emotional responses can be different. So let us not emphasize so much on this why people were not there. I have always suggest, take, have faith in the teachers. And the teachers here, I don't think are like they will just ignore you. It's not, there is nothing like it. What was which compulsion, it takes time to understand what has happened. It takes time because everybody becomes clueless what actually as a person I can do. Then we have been taking steps behind the camera also. We are talking with the other teachers to how to move ahead so that something significant comes. So it's not that teachers have not come or they didn't want to come. There have been representations, and we have been there with you, and we will always remain with you. So it was actually something very unexpected, very shocking thing for everyone. So this is what I can say on this.
And ma'am, you were, as we know, you were there on the ground and you were talking to the students. What was the atmosphere like, and what did you say to the students, and how did you stand in solidarity?
What I witnessed was the students had a big shock. It was a very big shock for them, and they were feeling clueless. They were looking towards the teachers to come and guide and tell them what is to be done forward, but everybody was actually clueless. We were also part of them. So what will be the right way, how things have come? See, in the coaching industry there is so much competition. Teachers also hardly interact with each other, but this is one occasion I think it is a good thing that we have communicated with each other, because we realize that as a single person we will not be able to make any big change, any big difference. We have to come together collectively. Even one coaching takes a measure, other does not take a measure, that also will not work, because a student doing one course at your place doing another course, and we have to have a collective norms, we have to have a collective representation to the government, to the various stakeholders. So in that sense I believe that and I hope there will be much better rules, norms. A lot of learning has been there, and we have to take lessons, and we have to keep on getting guided and conscious by what all has happened.
Ma'am, after this incident, students look visibly shaken by the entire incident mentally,
Yes,
and they are going to have their mains in a few months.
yes.
So what is the atmosphere like, and do you think this is going to have an impact on their
Yeah.
preparation process as such?
Yeah, even the earlier question was that what was the impact? Definitely, it was a big shock, and they were looking for the leadership. But at least, again, I will say that I am really very proud of them that they maintained that struggle. They were there in the water, they were there in the rains, they were there in the sun, like in the heat. Means they have shown that they are ready to struggle, and they want to because were believing that whatever they were doing it correctly and rightly, and in a very, very mature manner. See, no violence incident, no antisocial incident, a very peaceful, very protest, very mature way they have handled it. We should be congratulating them that as like our coming generation, which is confident, which is very, very uh, mature in their approach. And I just forgot the last part of the question you have asked. Can you just repeat?
Basically, yeah, I was asking that they are going to have their mains,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So definitely mains students are impacted in a big way. First of all, it is shock to everybody. Even as a teacher, it is very difficult for me to go back to the studies normally, and then the classes have gone disrupted, but it is fine. We are again going back. We Today I have again restarted, and we will be able to manage this difficult time, and we'll be coming out of it very soon. And that is a test of endurance. Actually, even after becoming a civil servant, they have to reflect these qualities, and whatever they have learned, they have exhibited these qualities. Even the mains preparation, these qualities which they have imbibed at the level of their personality, they are going to help.
ma'am, while talking to the aspirants, we got to know that the living expenses,
Yeah.
if we calculate the expenses annually, it comes down to at least 4 to 5 lakhs, including the coaching fees and the food, the shelter, everything. And then too, if they have to live, with these kind of facilities where their life is not safe, they're not secure. So who do we hold accountable for all of this? Because right now people are asking for accountability. So who, according to you, should be held accountable for all of
The
this?
first accountability is, I will say, that in India there is a mad craze for civil services. We all understand that the number of jobs are too less. but everybody wants to go for it. And since the time of social media, that craze has gone exponentially. So we have to first of all somehow de-glamorize this thing. Civil services is important, but it is not the only job, it is not the only profession. We have to imbibe this idea that every work is important, so there are so many fields. So this is one thing. Over glamorization by social media, by movies and all, this has to be stopped. This is one thing. Now the second thing is uh, regarding it is a complete ecosystem, because there has to be, this coaching industry has been operating in a very informal manner. And most important thing, I believe that uh, land laws, rent regulation, this is to be taken with urgency, because there are exorbitant rents. And it is not that just students are facing the problem. We, those who are running the institute, we are facing big problem. And the amount of rent, then amount of amenities which are required. You require electricity, you require AC, you require notes, you require so many things. So everything has to be scaled down. Plus it is also important that this hybrid mode, where offline and online has to be combined. There have been online platforms, but I don't think those online platforms have been able to develop that much confidence and credibility. But it is a time, because we are having shortage of the physical space. This can be compensated only through the online space. And now there is a high time that uh, real quality education has to be provided. It has to be decentralized. Delhi should not be the only place. Every place has its capacity. It has to be decentralization at the regional capitals also. The type of knowledge is to be imparted. And above all, there is a biggest question mark on the state of education system in the country. After all, what is the need of coaching? Why the coaching is required? Why the university classes are not sufficient enough to give them the background for which these students come here? It is very important that government also holds some sort of accountability about the quality of education that is being imparted in different universities. I have seen so much infrastructure, such a good infrastructure in so many states, in so many small towns, but they are empty. Teachers do not come. The actual state of administration is not very, very encouraging. So this culture is wrong. This culture is there in the country, where students, parents, everybody feels that what they are getting in the schools is not sufficient. So education system is important. It needs to be overhauled. Plus at the same time, this private sector coaching, it also needs to be formalized. We also need to understand that coaching industry is generating the resources, it is generating huge tax revenues. So many people are employed in so many various forms. And before government takes any decision, you have to keep into consideration there, it should not be the only narrative coaching is taking huge fees. But it's not that the coaching is taking the entire fees home. It is being used, it is being circulated, it is creating job, tax revenues, etc. So whatever decision is being taken, need of all stakeholders should be there. Representation should be from across the industry, and come out with the policy that can find a solution.
But ma'am, do you not think that the UPSC teachers who are on the YouTube and who gather a lot of views among the students are to be held accountable for this, in a way that, Delhi has been projected as the epicenter of civil services, and so a middle class student from the third grade city rushes to Delhi and that's the only hope in his or her eyes, that Delhi is the
I
place where they
I
should.
don't think any individual can be held accountable. See, it is what? It is a private sector. Just like for
Yeah.
any private sector, you go for advertisement, you go for marketing. Now it is up to the consumers also. What they have to decide, that what they have to purchase, what they do not have to purchase. So I will find, rather than individuals, there are certain compulsions of every industry, there are compulsions of every profession. The biggest problem, I always say, is the competitive culture in which we are living. Unfortunately, somebody's adversity becomes somebody's opportunity. There has to be a change in the value system, which is very, very important. That competition is killing actually everyone. It is killing everyone. Nobody is having a quality of life. If everybody is overworked, there is hardly any time to think, to ponder on. You have to keep on working. So this mad race of being, and this herd mentality, this should stop at some point of time. We have to bring new values. And I must say that the social media, it has made a big problem. Rather than the individual, social media is creating, has become a big problem, because it is still not so much regulated. Fine. And now, ultimately, your safety, your security, your life is more about the decisions you take. So there is no need, I cannot say that I got influenced by someone and I did it. Fine. So somewhere that maturity is required. As a consumers also, we go to the market, we get influenced by the advertisements, we buy the things, and then ultimately we repent. So somewhere it is not just the fault of the uh, those who are doing this, but as a consumer also, we don't think, we are unable to overcome this thing. So everyone requires change, everyone requires rethinking at their level. Why we need to think why this happened, and what steps are required to stop that. That's why I said we need to de-glamorize it. Civil services is just like many other services. Fine. So even the successful aspirants, even the teachers, everybody is running after glamorizing it more than what is required. And then everybody is aware of the unemployment crisis, not just in India, around the world. So people are looking for good security in their life. My suggestion, my uh, like whatever instruction, whatever you say to every student is, you should focus on gaining knowledge. You become civil servant, you don't become civil servant, is this not so important. If you are coming here, come for the knowledge, gain knowledge, utilize this particular knowledge. There are so many career avenues with the same knowledge. UPSC, the best thing is what I have seen, that first of all, students, they come here after their graduation, they are mature, and the type of teaching that happens, the type of syllabus UPSC has, where you get to know economy, geography, polity, society, and so many things, person becomes very well equipped to do many other things also, other than just civil services. I have come to know many of my students, they are working in panchayats, they are working in media also. So first of all, in India, we should not be giving so much importance to the position of power. Like what I see is everybody is so much concerned what is happening in politics, what politician has come, what. Let us not have that very elite oriented mentality, and make the things quite simple, down to earth. You have to change a value system. What is a status, what is a good life, what is power, what, how much money people require. So there is a need that we have to talk about it, think about it.
Ma'am, do you think that coaching giants here need to hold accountability, because they were running a library in the basement,
Huh?
and which goes against the NOC? So, like, proper safety norms are not being followed. So somebody has to take this accountability, and the immediate accountability, as we say. And
Yes, I think the institute has taken the accountability and they have made some announcement about the compensation. But again, it is always a collective responsibility, I will say, about the institutions also, about the government institutions, about the civil society, resident welfare associations, everybody's collective responsibility. Uh, One institute is accountable, everybody knows the name of the institution, that institution must have themselves accepted the accountability. But now the blame game should end and we should think what is to be done forward. Fine.
right.
So that is more important.
Ma'am, that brings me to the final question, that as a teacher who's so dear to the students, and who students have been desperately waiting to hear your word on this, and somebody who runs an institute, what should be the road ahead, and how do we make sure that this do not occur again, and no student again lose their life in such a tragic way?
First of all, there has to be a consultation, because I feel that I may be knowing things in international relations, but I may not be knowing so much what is the right thing, what is the right rules, etc. So, government and the coaching institute, they have to sit together, frame the rules, have certain experts who can guide us with the best practices related to fire safety norms, other norms, and one common norm should emerge which is easy to understand, which can be implemented. And we have to ensure, as a peer exercise also, students will also be involved, that these are the norms which are understood by all, and these are the norms which is being implemented. An alarm is to be raised as often as possible wherever we see that this is not being followed. So first of all, everyone today needs that we should be made aware what is permissible, what is not permissible. The language of law should also be very, very clear and easy to understand. Once we have the law and clear guidelines in our hand, we should sit collectively. Coachings have to do certain things at the collective level, then at the individual level at their institutions. So, coaching, the resident welfare associations here, government, MCD, they all have to come together, not as an adversaries to each other, but believing that we all are swimming together, sinking together, we are in the same boat. Fine. So let us come together and make things good for everyone. This is what is important. And without collective effort, nothing can be achieved.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for talking to us, for giving us your time. And I'm sure that students have been waiting to hear your word on this. And this will certainly guide them in the right direction. Thank you for your time, ma'am.
Thank you.